Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna check like every 15 minutes to see if it's still recording.
Okay.
Okay, I got you one on this one.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi,
Hello.
I'm Maha. I'm
Nice.
your daughter. So introduce yourself. Like, what's your name?
My name is Salma Mansour.
Okay. What's your relationship to me?
I'm Maha's mom. She's a beautiful daughter.
Oh, thank you. I got it from the best. Okay. So, where do you live? Like your city, your town, neighborhood, etc.
We live in United States, California, San Jose.
14646. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 48.
Wow, you're young.
Thank you.
I don't know why. You have a young face. So that's pretty good. What is your racial and ethnic identity?
I'm Sudanese.
Cut the video. Okay. I will edit this out. Okay, so where's Sudan? Just tell them about that.
Sudan it's in the North Africa. It's a very beautiful country. If you're planning to visit, you can go ahead. It's very beautiful. I born and raised in a city by the Red Sea called Port Sudan. I love it from the bottom of my heart. So that's where I born and grew up.
Okay, so what is your gender?
Of course, you can see I'm a female.
Okay, what is your sexual orientation? Gay, straight, lesbian?
I'm straight.
It's for the thing. So what is your marital status? Are you single, divorced, married?
I'm married to my wonderful husband. That's that.
How long were you guys married for?
We've been married for 24 years.
24 years. That's a long time. That's older than me.
It is. Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your annual income personally? What is like the total annual income of your household?
We can say about 250,000.
So would you consider yourself wealthy?
No. In Bay Area, we're middle class.
Is it because like if anywhere else in the world would you consider yourself wealthy?
Yes, if I get the same salary here or the same income here, for example, if I go back to Sudan, I will be very wealthy.
It's just because you live in the Bay Area?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about your childhood next. So tell me a little bit about like your childhood was like.
As I said, I was born and raised in a nice city. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to repeat that one again.
It's okay, I can edit that part out. So, okay, so talk about your childhood. Like a little bit, like where were you raised? All that kind of stuff.
Okay, I raised in like a very nice neighborhood, and like almost everyone knows each other. We used to like play on the street.
You're so cute. Okay. Just like okay, just like so it was like really close knit. Like everyone was like really tight. Like
Yes, actually, we're very, very close. We're very like neighborhood. Like almost everyone know each other. Like we know, like all the adults know all the kids, where they live, who is their parents, and it's like we even get educated by the neighbors, by the family, relative, like.
Were you like rich, poor, middle class? Like what were you like growing up?
We are We consider rich.
You consider it?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me the story when you first realized as a child that there was families that had more or less than you. So like, when did you start realizing that there were people who were richer than you or less fortunate than you?
I realized that when I was in elementary school. It was a religion class. They tell us about charity and how we can donate charity to poor people. At that time, I saw all the people like, because in my neighborhood, like almost all the people are the same,
Like class.
the
Like,
same class.
Mhm.
And then I found out like, there is people that are very poor. They don't even have food. They have no housing. So that's how we learn about charity in the school. I was in like second grade.
That's really young.
Yeah, second grade, and we have like a small charity box in the classroom. So we used to ask our family for money for that charity box, and then with our teacher we used to go and help those families in need.
Did you ever like see it firsthand? Like, did you ever like see the families who were in need and who were poor and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, we have. We went with our teacher to visit those families, and we even donate like some clothes, shoes, like food and money.
Oh, so you'd actually like go there and like meet the people?
When we went and we met them, and they have kids our age too. Yeah.
Was that like a bit scary for you at like that time?
Not scary. Actually, they were very nice. The family we went to visit, they were very nice, and even they offer us food, and we say no, we're good. But they thought we don't want to eat with them because they're poor, and then the teacher said, no, can you go actually and sit? That will make them more happy. So we sat, we ate with them, and that's make them happier than we expected.
That's kind of like interesting because like like they're less fortunate and they don't have like as much money as you, but they're still trying to like make you happy and make you like all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So you can just
And that's something that like it's very popular in Sudan. If you go to any of Sudanese house, the first thing they will offer you, like juice, water, drink, like food, whatever they have, they will offer you, and you can't live without eating or drinking something, even if you visit these people for the first time.
Oh, so it's like seen as disrespectful.
Yes.
Wait, one second. I'm just gonna check if we're still recording really quickly. It's like we haven't been recording at all. Okay.
Good.
Oh my god, it's only been 8 minutes.
All this talking.
I know, you would think. We still have, what's 60 minus 8? 52 minutes to go.
10 minutes.
Yeah, you have to talk to me a lot.
Okay.
So what did your parents do? Like, what were their jobs? What did they do for pay?
My dad was an elementary school teacher, and my mom was a full-time stay-at-home mom.
Oh wow. So, like, where you're from, do teachers there make a lot of money? Is that how you were like to get to like your certain class?
Actually, at that time, they do make lots of money. Plus, my grandpa, from both sides, they were businessmen. So from my mom's side and from my dad's side, they were both businessmen.
Oh, so you were like, so like when you were born, you were just like born already into a wealthy family. Like,
Yes.
You never had to like worry about food, water, like all that kind of stuff.
No, we don't have to.
It was just like kind of set up for you.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Everything
interesting.
was ready for me.
That's a kind of interesting how your mom was like a stay-at-home mom and your like dad was a teacher. Because like if that was like in American standards, like it would not. Happen.
No, teacher at that time,
Yeah.
they would make lots of money.
Oh, it's kind of like interesting to see how like different countries have like the value for teachers.
Yes, they do.
It's like Americans, they treat teachers like so like whatever. We'll give them low pay, but we still want them to take care of our children and do everything for them. But they don't deserve that much money.
No, actually, teacher used to get almost as much as doctor engineers.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Hmm.
Would you want teachers to make like that amount today, like the same amount
Yeah,
as doctors and engineers?
of course. Because, like, if there is no teacher, that means there is no doctor, there is no engineers, there is nothing. Because education comes first.
Mhm.
And those teachers, they're the one like helping us, helping our kids to have a better education.
Yeah.
So they work very hard. They stay with the kids more than we stay with our kids.
Mhm.
They learn a lot from them. They teach them a lot. They actually sacrifice their life for
Yeah.
our kids. So I guess it's to be fair with them, for them, to get more money.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you see your father sacrificing for the other kids when you were younger? But you're good. You're good. Take your time. Like, if you don't want to answer a question, it's
Like
okay.
I try to get the questions.
Like you said, like teachers sacrifice like a lot for like their students and like all that kind of stuff. Did you ever see your father sacrificing for his students?
Yes, actually I have. He used to stay like longer time to help kids, even though that time he was when I grew up he was a principal, like when
Mm-hmm.
so he used to stay more in the school to help student
So like the kids had like a direct connection with the principal.
with the principal plus with the other teacher as well, and that was for free.
Mhm. For free?
For free.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
They
actually
stay
really cool.
after school. They help the kids in the school for free, and after that we have they made a summer program for summer or after school program for the kids neighbors as well.
Oh, so it's like helping everyone.
Yes, for the neighborhood kids we used to go to we have a public library.
Yeah.
We used to go there, and then if the teacher from around the neighborhood plus we have university students,
Yeah.
when they come back from vacation,
They taught the kids?
they help the kids
Wow.
like with all the subject.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting because like that's not something that you see like very often, like a community like that interested in children's education and really helping each other.
Yes. Yeah, we have actually two areas in our neighborhood. We have the public library,
Mm-hmm.
and plus we have it's like a soccer club.
Oh, really?
Yes. So because the kids were like large group of the kids,
Yeah.
so they used to divide us between the soccer club
Mm-hmm.
or the public library.
Oh.
So they have some classes here and some classes here, and then
They would,
the
like, combine
teacher
together.
they switch around.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go into the next question.
Okay.
What was the dynamic around money in the household you grew up in? I don't know. Do you want to go to the next question?
No, but I wanna like
I want to answer it, but I don't know what it is.
like I wanna know what it means because I don't wanna give the wrong.
Dynamic around money in your household. I think like we kind of like discussed that before. Like money was never an issue. when you were
Okay.
little. I think that was it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine then.
Next question.
Mhm.
Did you have a sense when you were growing up how much money? Did you have a sense when you were growing up how much money your parents made? Like, did you know that they were rich, or did you just like never really like connected with it?
It's like, as I said, like almost all the neighbors were in the same level.
Yeah, so it's like something you never really noticed.
So, yeah, something that I didn't really notice. Like,
Yeah.
mhm.
Would you call that like a privilege? Like to never really notice how much money was in your household?
Yeah, we never know. We never knew that.
Yeah. So it's just
Mhm.
like easy breezy.
Yes. Yeah, we never knew like how much my dad make or how much my grandpa make. But whatever we need, it always in the house. Like,
Then what the word that?
Lala.
So it was like when he was just kind of there, like always there.
Yes.
Okay. So, what kind of messages did you get from your parents about work? Like, what did your parents say about work?
Um, you always have to work. You have to respect work and people are working. No matter how much money you have to work to earn more money or to earn the money. Because when you work and earn that money, you know how much it's like worth.
So, like, basically, the fact that you're working with money makes it more valuable.
Yes.
Were they ever like, when it came to like work ethic, were they ever like, you have to push yourself the furthest, like you have to get this far, or were they more like, do whatever you want?
No, he's always pushing us like to go far.
That's interesting, cause like, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. It's like, certain like wealthier families, like I guess for here's your sake, they're like, you have to go far, but it's like, it doesn't really matter because you always have that backup.
No, we do have his backup, but he's always pushing us forward to work. As a fact, I used to work when I was in high school, but only during summer break.
So he made you work more for experience and less about money.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of messages did you get for your parents, like, about money? Were they always like, you have to value it, you have to save it, money doesn't really matter because you have us?
No, they always say the money is value. You always have to save because you never know
Something like that.
what something happened to you or to us. Like, we are not always there for you.
Do you think it's like a... Sorry, go ahead.
No, good.
I was gonna like talk about like the whole privilege thing again. Like, do you think it's like a privilege with the fact that you're able to like save money? Because like, you know how there's like certain families who can't even like save a dollar.
Yes.
So like they kind of value that saving.
They
money
kind of value that. Yeah, saving money is the best investment for you.
because you have that opportunity to save money.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of messages did you get about your parents about school and college?
Okay. My dad always said school come first, and my mom is the same thing. I remember when we are like by the end of the year we have finals, we have all this one. My mom will make us a study camp in the house. Even some of our friends, they come over because they know she's very strict when it comes to final on studies. We will stay home, study. She will make us food, tea, coffee, whatever help we need. Even if we need help from teachers, they will hire a teacher for us.
Wow.
To come and help us.
Just to make sure you do what you exceed.
Yes, and plus, she doesn't go out at all. She cut all her social life just for us until we finish from the all finals.
Let's go back to like the whole hiring teachers and hiring tutor thing. So like they really put money into your education.
Yes, they do. If we need it, yes, they do hire teacher for us.
That's kind of, did every single kid in your school have like resources like that? Or like there's some kids who were just like weren't able to afford it?
Some kids were not able to afford it. But in this case, usually the teacher that will help, they have after school programs, they will help the kids in need.
Did you think it put you towards like a certain advantage when it came to finance because you were able to get that extra help that you would have like the money to get that extra help for like people who didn't?
No, actually, it will be the same teacher. He'll come to our family or to our house. We pay him to teach us, but at the same time, he will voluntarily go to the
Oh, so you would like volunteer to help both kind of kids?
both kind of kids. Yes,
That's very like,
yes,
that's actually kind of cool. It's like someone put themselves out of their way to help like up, like making themselves an income, but also like providing for people who don't have that income.
they don't have that income. Yes.
Yeah, because like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't go very much like out of their way to help someone who was like in a lower class than them. It would just kind of be like, well, sucks to suck kind of thing. Like,
Yeah. No.
okay. I feel like we also kind of talked about this like a little bit. What was your life like in the neighborhood you grew up in?
Okay. It was very safe neighborhood. As I mentioned earlier, we used to lay on the street, like in front of our houses, and no one gets hurt. Like nothing. We didn't hear anything. Like no accident. Like no kidnapping.
Just like nothing.
Nothing. It's like very safe because all the neighbors are watching for us.
So you didn't? Did you have any like cops around or anything like that? Just like ensure your safety.
No.
It was just like you guys just like trusting each other.
Yes.
Were you in like a gated community or just like a regular community?
A regular community.
It was just like in a wealthier
Yes.
place of like town.
Actually, like 90% of the neighborhood in my city, they were very safe. Even the poor side of the,
They were still like safe.
they were still safe. Yeah.
How would you define the class position of the household you grew up in? Where are you at? You know, where we were talking about first class, second class, third class, wealthy, middle, lower.
They consider us a first class.
First class.
Yeah.
How come? Like why?
That will, like, it has two sides. First side is it's our tribes, like the tribe of where I'm from. They consider themselves as the first class in the country, and plus like the wealthiness.
So it's like traditional wealth?
Yes.
Okay. One second, I'm just going to still recording, and we can move on to the next set questions.
Okay.
Guess how long we're at?
12 minutes.
No. 23.
Oh, okay.
High five. 2. Quarter of our way there.
Good.
We're going to like one section. There's like 4 or 5.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, so tell me the story of when you first came to understand the meaning of social class differences. So when did you like first start understanding first class, second class, third class? Like when did you start like seeing and understanding like the differences?
Actually, I learned that like in a very late age, like when I actually started high school.
Really?
Yes.
What?
That time, like we got people from different neighborhood, like from other like ethnicity.
Ethnicities, like communities and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff? So did you still feel safe knowing that you were like surrounded by people of a different class?
No, we still feel safe. Like
It was just kind of like normal?
it was very normal. Yeah, but I can't tell like the difference in between like class. But we still at a school they treat everyone
The same.
at the same level, like
How did
no
you-
exceptions.
How did you like notice different classes?
I noticed that when the girls they will start talking, And like I will say something they have no idea what it is.
Like what?
Can I look it up?
What? No, you do a video. How did you like notice like that they were different? Was it like clothes? Was it the hair? Was it shoes? Was it the smell?
No, it's like
Stinky.
no. Mainly like because in the school we wear uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't tell.
Oh, so everyone wore the exact same thing.
Everyone wear exact same things.
So how'd you tell who was richer than the other person?
Maybe the way they look.
How so?
Like
Was it like skin color? Like
no, not skin color. No, because even in our family we have different shade.
like oranges and shades?
Yeah.
How'd you tell?
Maybe like you can tell from their backpack, their shoes. It's like those are the things makes different, and you can tell like those brand shoes or this backpack or
That they don't happen to have like much money as you.
yeah.
Stuff like that. Okay. Okay, let's go on to questions about work. Yay! Tell me the story of your first job.
My first job when I was in high school, I was in Yemen. And that time I had a hobby of doing henna design. So one time I had it in my hand, I went to this hair salon to do my hair. And the lady was asking me, who did it for you? I thought, oh, I did it myself. It's like, oh, I'm looking for someone to do henna for me. And it's like, I work with her. And I was like, I'm not sure if my dad will agree. I have to ask him and I get his permission first. So I went home, I talked to him. He didn't agree at the beginning because he was like, oh no, you need to focus in the school. You don't need to work, you don't need the money. And then I went back and I talked to the owner of the salon. And she was like, oh, can I talk to your dad? She came and she talked to him and she told him like, no, that's not gonna affect her education, and she's gonna work only on the weekends or if there is vacations.
Okay.
She's not gonna work, and if I see that's gonna affect her education, so she's not gonna work anymore.
Oh. So it was like, it was something like, for like your first job, was it just like accidentally something that you walked into? So you never
Yes.
really had to go out and search for it?
No.
It just like opportunities just came to you?
Yes.
Okay. And it's like, you never were forced to work a lot? You just,
No.
you got to work as much as you wanted to because you kind of had like your family's wealth as a backup?
Yes. Even the money I used to make from my job, my dad used to put it into saving. And he always tell me like, don't spend it. If you need any, and still he was giving me my
He was still giving you money even though you had a
money.
job?
Yes, even though I have a job, he will save all the money I bring home. I give it to him. He will save it to me. After like 4 months, he showed me the money I made. For me, it was a lot. I was so happy that I made that much money. And he told me, this is the money you made. Now you decide what you're going to do with it.
What did you do?
So I told him, like, can you advise me? And his advice, both my mom and my dad advised me to buy gold.
Gold? Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Because they say gold is like saving your money. You will never waste it, or like never go waste. So I went with my mom to this jewelry store. She used to buy her all her gold and jewelry from that store, and I did pick a bracelet and two rings.
And you just bought gold like on the spot.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was so happy that I bought, even though my dad like bought gold from me. I have gold from my dad. He's like, it's a gift, like birthday gift or holiday gift. He always buys gold. But that was special because I worked for it.
Mm. So it's like you earned that gold.
I earned that gold.
It's very interesting. Okay. I would like to hear about the jobs that you've done. Walk me through your entire lifeline of your work life. For each job, tell me of the story of how you came into that job. So let's start with your second job.
Okay, my second job, I was the admin assistant or admin.
Yeah.
But that was from home.
Oh, so you just got to stay home.
I got to stay home because that time I had a child in my hand. She was like less than 1 year.
Okay, so how old were you when you got your first job?
When I got my first job, I was 16.
When did you quit your first job?
I quit when I was 18
So you worked for 2 years?
for 2 years.
And then when did you get that second job? At what age?
I got my second job at age 23.
23, so you worked 5 years no working.
Yes, no work.
You didn't even have to worry about money, you just didn't have to work?
No.
Okay. So how'd you like not work for 5 years?
I was just focusing on school
So you just got to focus on school instead of working?
instead of working, yes.
So let's go back to the second job. You're
Okay.
working as an admin?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was, as I said, I was working from home, and it's also that job I didn't apply for. It came to me.
So your first and second job, the
I-
opportunities just came
yes,
to you.
it
Like
just
you didn't have to go
came
searching
to
for
me.
them.
My husband, CEO,
CEO?
yes.
Okay.
At that time, he was looking for someone like to help him with like typing all the letters in Arabic and English, and they had no one. And he was talking to my husband, and my husband said, "Oh yeah, my wife knows how to use computer plus typing machine." And then he was like, "Okay, can she help us?" It's like, "Yeah, but she cannot come to the office because we have
A child.
a child." He's like, "No, that's fine. I will buy her all the equipment and everything. She can stay home. I will just call her and just tell her, oh, okay, I need you to type me a letter to such as a company or this person, and that's what you need to tell me."
So they accommodated to you in like your circumstances.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And also, I used to be their banker.
Oh, okay. So you handled all their money too.
I handled all their money because we are in like a small village in Yemen, and the nearest bank to us, it was like almost 40 miles away.
Wow. That's far.
Yes, that was so far. So I used to handle all their money.
Wow. Were you ever like tempted? Just like take it? Never?
Never.
So what did you find meaningful about that second job? What did you find like meaningful about the job?
Meaningful?
Meaningful. Like what was like what did you take away from it?
Of course, not money wise because my husband was making more than enough money, but I got experience. I got like how to deal with different companies, different sources. Like it made me think out of the box more.
Okay. So what was the most challenging thing about working? Like working there, especially.
It's like because it was a full-time job plus I was first-time mom, It was like
A
hard
lot to
for
handle.
me. It's a lot to
Yeah.
handle. Plus, like my daughter was that time she was like 6 months old.
Oh, so she couldn't be independent.
No,
So why did you work it if you had enough money?
because sometimes just sports staying home,
Mm.
and in that's like very small village. I don't know anyone. I just know like few from the neighbors, and I okay.
So the video cut off. So we're gonna continue on. And I believe we were at your second job. We were talking about the challenges of what your second job was.
Okay, the challenges of my second job, um, it wasn't hard because, but like I have a 6 month child in my hands, plus I need to work full time. Um, that's the only challenging,
Mm.
and I have to finish everything on time, like somebody.
So what was frustrating about your second job?
It wasn't frustrating at all because it's like I work from home,
Mm.
so I kind of manage my time between my house duty, my daughter, and my job.
So it was like hard to juggle everything?
No, I used to give time like to each part of the
So why did you work if you had enough income to not work?
because I have more free time, and that I used to live in a small village, so it's almost there is nothing to do. Like even the neighbors I know, just few of my neighbors. We used to go out if there is a wedding or funeral, or sometimes we talk. That's about it. But there is no activity as well for women in that village.
So you would only get to go out with friends and do all these things if there was a big event?
Yes,
So what do you mean when you say that there was no activity for women?
because the culture of that village or that area, uh, the women they don't go out a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have no malls, no club, like nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how long did you work that job?
Almost 1 year.
So from the ages of 23 to 24?
Yes.
When did you start working your next job?
My next job when I was 27.
27? So you would about like,
So,
so you would about um, 3 years to work your next job.
that's
You know, from 24 to 27.
yeah,
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
What did you start working as?
I was a preschool teacher assistant.
So, where were you working this job? Like in Sudan, or was it in
No,
America?
that time we moved to United States of America. I was working with the Campbell Union District.
Mhm.
They have a program that called uh, Even Star.
Mhm. So, what was like? What class position were you when you came to America? Because back in Sudan, you were first class working citizen. What were you when you came here?
We dropped to a low income class.
Low income.
Yes.
How was that different? Was like a change for you? Was it hard to accept? Because that must have been very different going from a wealthy to a low income.
No, because before we come, we prepare ourselves that we're going to be a low income because it's the different of the language, different of the culture, a lot of difference, and we have to study to be able to work a professional job.
So, How long would you say were you a low income family?
For about 5 years.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is.
What kept you like moving? Like kept you working, kind of keeping that hope?
Uh, Both of us, me and my husband, we used to go to school
Mm-hmm.
to study and improve ourselves and get a professional job.
So, what was your third job? It was a elementary school teacher, like the assistant.
That's my third job, yes.
So, what would that job entail? Like, what did you do?
I used to help the preschool teacher prepare the class before the student come, and help her during the activities, morning circle, lunchtime or story time. Um, when we go out for recess, and also communicating with the kids, with the parents, with the teacher. It's improved my English because um, I start that class after being in the school for 6 months only.
Mm-hmm.
I was a student. I was the ESL student,
Mm-hmm.
and I start as adult school. It's an adult school, plus they have child care and preschool for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After 6 months, I finished all the courses they offer me. I went to the principal. I asked her, I need to find a job, plus to keep my kids in the same program because that program was hard to get into. If they left the program, it was going to be very hard to get into again. The principal offered me that job.
Mm-hmm. So, you were talking about in both of your other previous jobs that the opportunity just kind of came to you. That you didn't really have to try or reach out to kind of get that job. Do you think it was because of your wealth class that you're now in a lower income that you had to go out and search for a job, and the opportunities would stop coming to you?
I guess that could be one of the reason. Plus, like it's come because I want to help my husband, and I see him. He struggle. He got to full time job plus full time school to study. So I was like, okay, I need to help him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I was going to check the time. What was the most meaningful part of working at that job?
Hmm?
What was the most meaningful part of working that job?
The most beautiful.
Meaningful,
Meaningful.
not beautiful. Meaningful,
Oh,
meaningful.
I forgot that.
The purpose, like the purposeful. Like, what did you take from the job?
Okay. I took a lot from that job, actually. Um, During work, they used to give me classes too. It's parenting classes. They used to give me uh, like educational classes about kids. So it helped me with my career, plus it helped me with my kids. So it helped me both ways.
So what was the most challenging part about it? Because like, it seemed like you had a lot of upsides.
Challenging was the time wise because we used to come to school like earlier than most parents and kids will come to prepare the classes. Plus, in the middle of work, I started going to college.
Oh, so you're balancing college
I'm
and work.
balancing college and work and plus 3 kids.
Oh, so that must have been really difficult.
Yes. Yeah.
What was like the most challenging part? Like just juggling all those in general, or was it one
Yes.
specific area?
Yeah. No, like juggling both of them, and I tried to be perfect on all of them, which was hard. To be a mother for 3 kids. You need to take care of them, plus like you go to school, you need to study, plus working. So it's like for me it was three full-time jobs at once.
So, what did you find most frustrating during like that point of time?
It's managing my time.
Did you ever have to do that before?
No,
It was just kind of like something new and different for you, especially.
it was something new for me because before the most what I did is like studying and taking care of one child. Now, no, I have to study plus taking care of three kids, housework plus job.
Okay. So, what did you learn about economic status or economic inequality in the U.S. from being a preschool teacher?
I found out that teacher they don't get enough money from what they're offering
Back home.
back home or what they're offering here to what the amount of the job they're doing, they're not getting paid enough to do it.
How does that apply to your second job? Was that your second job? Or was it your third job?
Third job,
What was your second job?
the admin.
Okay, so what did you learn about economic status or any? Oh wait, the only job you had in the U.S. so far was that one. Okay, how do you think that being a woman and being Black and Arab and Muslim influence your experiences as a preschool teacher?
I struggle a lot. First thing, my English wasn't good. Like, because when I started that job, I barely went to school for 6 months. I do know English from before, but it wasn't good enough. It was like when we study English back home, it was just a subject. We never used it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just a subject. So to come here, different languages, different culture, like almost everything is different. And plus at that time, when we came in the first year, and September 11 happened.
So there was like a lot of racial discrimination?
Yes.
Did it come from like the parents, co-workers, like, or was it just from everyone?
Actually, more from the parents.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And but I was very patient with them, and I told them, okay, whatever happened, it's not acceptable. Whoever did it is not acceptable. It's not what's like presented our religion. Our religion is a peace religion, and that wasn't part of the religion at all. So, and I was like, I told them, you cannot judge me from what other people did. And terrorism, it's like it's individual act. It's not about religion or ethnicity or country, or like, you need to treat me for who I am, for who Salma is, not for who someone else did something wrong and we share the same religion.
So okay. So did you feel like because of like 9/11 happening and everything, did it affect your economic status? Were you getting less jobs, getting less opportunities, getting less all this kind of stuff because of who you are?
Not because September 11, because my religion, because I'm wearing the hijab.
So kind of like,
Yes. And until now.
until now,
Until now.
like from what experience, like what happened?
Okay. After I finished like working in preschool, or after I quit working in preschool, because I was going full time to school, and I studied a dental assistant. I went to the very intensive program to improve myself. I studied very hard, and I graduated in 2006. I was the first person to start working in my classmate.
Oh wow.
Yes, we graduated on Friday. I had my job on Monday.
Wow, that was very fast.
That was very fast. Until that doctor I was working with him passed away, so it was very sad. And then I have to start searching for other offices to work with. Plus, with my experience with him, it's been like almost 3 years experience
Wow.
in my dental field. So every time I apply to job, we do a phone interview. They accept me and they give me a nice offer and everything. But when I go to the office and they see me with the hijab, they reject me right away.
Wow. Just because of your religion?
Yes. And some of them, they even ask me, can you work without it?
Oh.
And I said, no. And that gave me a more reason to stuck to my hijab, to stuck to who I am. You have to accept me the way I am. You need to see my job, not to look at I'm covering my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes.
Well, so what was like the most challenging part of that, being a dental assistant? Was it like the actual workload, or was it the fact that you wore hijab?
The fact I was wearing hijab.
Really?
Yes. Because I really like it and I saw myself in it.
So was it like very frustrating for you?
Yes. And then until it started like turning, it's very frustrating because people they don't accept me with my experience. They reject me for my hijab.
So why'd you leave the medical field then?
That's the reason, because none of the office they will accept me with my hijab.
Wow.
I couldn't find zero office to accept me. I applied to more than 100 office in the Bay Area.
And none of them accepted you?
And none of them accept me.
So that's why you like left the whole medical field even though you studied in it?
Yes.
Wow. So what did you do after?
After that, I started working at McDonald's. And I started working as a cashier. After 4 months, I promoted to be a shift manager, and I worked my way up until I almost being a store manager. I worked for 4 years at the same store, same location.
So it was out of dedication?
Yes.
What was the most meaningful thing about like working there? Because if you stayed so long.
The people there.
Really?
Yes. I had like very good friend. We made a very good team. So that what made me stay longer. And then when after everyone find their own way and they left the stores, it wasn't as we used to be a united. We used to be like one family. And I couldn't stay anymore because all my friends are gone.
So was that the most challenging part then?
Yes.
Not even like wearing a hijab, it was like the fact that
No.
you were separated?
They accept me. That my first thing is like, you're gonna accept me with my hijab? And they say, yeah. We have people from different religion, different race. They're working here. We welcome you.
So what was the most frustrating part? I'm just gonna check the time, but talk about your most frustrating part.
The most frustrating part for me was sometimes the job itself, it gets very stressful. And we have to work very long hours. Sometimes I will be in the store for 24 hours with no sleep. Because I have to cover people shift, people that will call sick or no call, no show, and I have to cover for them. So that's the most stressful.
Do you think that's what people would be most surprised to learn, what it's like working as a McDonald's worker?
Um, from what I learned, not all McDonald's are the same. We kind of have a very unique store. Um, Even though I was the manager and my job is just to watch out what people are doing, I found myself, I will be in the kitchen, I will go help in the cashier, I will go help in drive through. You will see me all over the areas.
So it was like you were covering every single
I'm
field.
covering every single post.
So what would people be most surprised to learn what it's like working as a McDonald's worker?
Uh, the thing I was surprised that McDonald's, most people they think it's a junk job, but what I learned is not a junk job. You actually can grow yourself in it.
Really?
Yes. They have a university of McDonald's.
Oh wow.
Yes, that's something I learned. Um, they will teach you how to be an accountant, how to be a manager, how to be um, uh, an HR person, like payroll person, and you can go as high as being a VP in McDonald's.
So why'd you quit?
I quit because um, of all my friends, I told you like in that store were like as a one family, but everyone started quitting. The business wasn't going well, even though we're the most busiest store. Still after that, the business wasn't going well, and that made us more stressful. And most of my friends they left, so I was like, okay, it's time for me to leave and find another career.
So what are you working as now?
Now I'm a receptionist at Intel.
So what's it like working at Intel?
Like it's nice. It's very quiet. I've been with the company now for almost 6 months. Yes.
Yeah.
But I work with Securitas. This is my second year. I used to be at Google first, and then for 1 year, and I moved to Semantic for close to 1 year, and now this is my final post here.
Final year?
No, like now I'm in Intel.
Yeah. So you get to stay at Intel?
Yes, I got to stay in Intel now.
Okay. So what's some of the like most meaningful part so far that you find about like working security and all that kind of stuff?
I got to meet new people. I got to learn new stuff every day. Each company I work in, it's very unique. They have their own policy, their own style, their own like system. So, and that give me more knowledge.
So what do you find most challenging about working there? So you come from like so many different experiences.
It's like I got to learn. I got to learn from zero.
Oh, so you started at like 0.0 and you like grow yourself
Yes,
up.
I grew myself up, and each company is using different systems. So every time I move to a different company or they move me to different company, I have to learn their system. I have to learn their culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the most frustrating part about it then?
Probably like the first couple of weeks when I make mistakes, and some employees are not patient enough to learn that, hey, I'm a new person here, I'm still learning, so they don't accept mistakes, but that's very rare.
Very rare.
Yes.
Uh, what do you think most people would be surprised about? Like what it's like working in security?
Um, People they think when they are working in security, you will be just a security officer. Um, Also in a security field, you can grow yourself up,
Yeah.
and yeah, they have. It's not only security officers now. Um, we have officer. We have us as the reception team, and then we have the payroll people. Also, is from Securitas.
Wow.
Yes.
So what's like the typical workday for you?
Like I start 7:30 until 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah. I work at the executive area where I have all the VPs and higher up people, um, uh, sending, receiving emails all day with them, like getting badges for their guests, sign 10 badges for the employee themselves.
So how do you feel about the job that you do for a living?
It's not stressful. It's like it's very, very mellow.
So out of like all the jobs you've done, which one do you like rank them from like best to worst?
My favorite one was the dental assistant because
Found your
I
passion?
really, I felt like it and I really enjoyed working it. My second one was the preschool teacher assistant. My third one, say McDonald's. Um, my fourth one was the salon, the henna, and the last one is the admin.
I got it. Okay. So wait, sorry, just 1 second.
Nice.
Okay. So now we're gonna talk about your current economic position and class identity. So what is your life like now?
We consider ourselves as the middle class, especially for Bay Area.
So you kind of like jumped all over like the class map. You've gone from
Yes.
like top to low to middle, so it's kind of like you've been up and down like everywhere. So what was your biggest struggles like economically? Like ever?
One, we are low income.
What was your struggles? Like what did you struggle with? Like the most?
It's like we struggle with a lot. It's like especially when you have kids and they have needs, you have to cover all their needs, and sometimes you have to stretch yourself out, like to cover all their areas they
So
need.
what did you do for your kids that you felt like you had to sacrifice?
Do I have to say that?
No, you don't have to.
I-
We can move on to the
No,
next
it's okay. Okay. I have to sell all my gold just to help my husband out for my kids' need, and I used to work henna, like I used to do henna designs, so I can get like a little extra money to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And babysit from time to time. Like whenever I found anything to help with, I will do it. I don't mind.
So, what was your relationship? Like, what is your relationship with money? And how do you think about money?
Oh, why not that friend? Money for me is
Baba, Teta. Baba. Ashara. I have to come in my head. They what they thought. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. My relationship with the money, like we're what friend, but not best friend.
Acquaintances.
It's like I'm not a big saver. Like I don't know how to save a lot of money. I can save and then I will spend it.
What do you think that is?
So I was like, if I need it, I will spend it. I will never let my kids or myself needed something. I will, and I have the money to buy it, and I won't buy it.
So you always like put your kids before money.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into some hard questions. Have you ever had conflicts or tensions with friends or loved ones around money? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. You could just say skip.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it, or we can just skip?
Yeah. Actually, he's our friend. He's one of the family friend. We saved some money. We bought an apartment in Egypt. So we asked him to sell that apartment and get us the money and send the money back to us here in United States. And I even paid for his full trip, his pocket money, his hotel, his airfare, everything. But he went, sold the apartment, and he took the money and he took off.
Where did he go?
He just disappeared. He vanished.
He just took the money and left?
Yes.
Wow, that's horrible.
Yes.
What did you do?
We fight him in court, but we didn't get nothing. And then I was like, just
Forget about it?
forget about it. Because I know I'm not going to get anything from him.
That's crazy. Where you like taking that story?
Never trust people.
Understandable.
Yes, never trust people.
Did you find it hard to make ends meet?
Did you do it?
Find hard to make ends meet, like pay rent, make money, do all that kind of stuff.
Not really.
Okay. Sorry, these are just the questions I'm reading.
No, you're good.
How do you feel about debt? About being in debt? How come? Have you carried any debt? How much and how come?
I have debt, but not much. It's like it's a credit card that is like 3,000.
So it's not like it's not like the best.
Yeah, but I'm still like pay them off and then you reuse them again and they pay them off and
Okay, so it's like a cycle.
yes.
In terms of where you are economically right now, is it where you had expected to be when you were growing up?
No.
Where did you expect to be when you were growing up?
I expect to be at the same level I was born and raised in Sudan because I was never expected to leave the country or be in this situation.
A lot of people, like especially in America, when it comes to like moving around in like classes and stuff, it's usually like the wealthy class. They're usually about like a 90% rate of just like staying there, just like kind of staying in the wealthy class for like their entire lives. You is kind of very different. You're kind of that 10% and kind of like went all around.
Roller coaster.
Do you regret where you are at right now?
No, never.
Okay, so when you hear the word class, like as an economic class, what does that mean to you?
I feel it's not fair when people they dividing people by economic class, and for me, people are people. If you are rich or poor or anything, you have to treat it as a human being, not as how much money you have or how wealthy you are.
So you just see people as equal.
Yes.
I feel like I'm the same way. I don't think like a person's money defines like who they are as a person. You can meet rich people who are horrible people and meet poor people who are the best people
The
you'll ever
best
meet.
people. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. I'm living. Oh my god. We're almost done. Do you think of yourself in class terms? And do you have class identity? Do you think of yourself first class?
No.
Do you just think of yourself as like a person?
Yes.
So does class, like, once again, like, does class matter to you?
No, it doesn't matter at all.
Do you think people in the United States can move up like the class ladder freely? Why or why not? Do you think people in the United States can move up the class ladder easily and freely? Why or why not?
I don't think so.
Why?
First things like no matter how hard people they work and they try to move from level to higher level, like it's like they always feel it's not enough money. They always whatever they get, they spend it.
So it's like a constant, like, needed for money.
Yes.
There's a, what was I gonna say? There's also that kind of like thing of the American dream, that if you make it here, that you can move up like from wherever you are. Do you think that's true?
No.
But don't you feel like you yourself are an example of the American dream? No, why not?
What again the question?
Do you feel like you yourself are an example of the American dream?
There is nothing for me. There is nothing called the American dream. There is something called a personal dream.
Do you want to go on about that?
Yes. Okay. For me, my dream when we came to United States, our dream is like me and my husband. Our dream is to study, and we achieved that dream. We achieved one of our dreams, and then to raise our kids in a healthy environment. And I guess
living proof.
we did that. Also, we teach our kids like those are our dream, but house, cars, like no.
That wasn't just for you.
That wasn't for us. Like yes, we will have it's nice to have a nice house and everything, but for me, my first dream is my kids get the best education. After that, I can put house, cars, whatever in the next one.
So, kind of leading on to the next question, we were talking about like you seeing yourself as like a middle class. When asked, many people in the United States describe themselves as middle class. Why do you think this is so, and does that seem correct to you?
I feel it's like most people are middle class.
A lot of people are middle class.
Yes.
I feel like from my point of view, it kind of like ranges from where you are, what city you live in, what state you live in.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah,
here in the Bay Area, we're seen as middle class, but if we were
if
somewhere
we
else,
move to different
like Iowa or
state
something like
and with the same income we're having here, probably would be like from wealthy class.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think it means to be wealthy?
For me, wealthy, you have to be wealthy with your knowledge, your education, and yourself. Like you have to be yourself.
So wealth
That-
is more than just money.
Wealth for me, it's more than just money.
So, what do you see as the difference between the middle class and the working class?
Working class.
Working class. So factory workers, like all that kind of stuff. Still recording. We're still going. Okay.
I don't think there is a difference.
You don't think there's a difference? It's
No.
like the same.
It's the same, because both class, both people, they still work, and
This is on to the next question.
yeah.
So, what do you see as the difference between being middle class now, between being poor and being the working class?
There is also there is nothing something called poor. You have to help yourself.
So there's no such thing as being poor.
There is poor people, but they're poor people with their mind. Their mind is poor.
Their mind is poor. But what about like the income they're living in?
Yes, because if you use your mind, God give you a brain to use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel some people are just lazy.
How does this apply for like homeless people?
They're lazy, they don't want to work.
Well, what if they don't have the opportunities to work because they're homeless?
No, there is shelters. They can live in shelters.
The shelters can only go for like one day at a time.
Yeah, they can fight for that one. Plus, they can find a job. Like each person, like they don't have to be doctor, engineers, or lawyer. But no, they can work at the labor. They can do something better with their life other than just being homeless.
But for some people, being homeless is like the only option because minimum wage is not enough for them to live on. Like actually get a house, get an apartment, get anything. They can't do that with minimum wage.
No, but at least if they try to work, they will help themselves.
What if they just can't get jobs?
I don't think, from what I think, they didn't try hard enough. They just gave up very easily.
I don't think that's the truth because for some homeless people, they try really hard, but like they get really stuck in that situation. Like they literally just can't move.
Okay, in this case, they need to ask for help.
Who would they ask?
Anyone they trust.
What if they have no one? That happens for a lot of homeless people. They don't have anyone.
No, then the government need to step in and help them out.
That's only true for some people. That doesn't really do that much. It depends on the state.
Yes, also depend on the state. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's continue. When do you find yourself engaging with people in a very different class position as you, and what is it like?
I've always been in that position since I was in school.
So you've just always been with the same position wherever you're in? Like, you're always surrounded by people in the same class?
No.
So when do you interact with people in a different class?
Yeah, like when I was in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm. That's when you like started interacting with people in a different class?
Yes, that's when I started like seeing people with different class because we had a student from different school. They used to come to our school for the teacher to be able to help them out.
Oh, so what was that like, seeing people in a different class, like, and engaging with them? Was it different? Was it weird?
No.
Was it just like normal?
It was just normal.
So what do you personally think it has been to like have made it? You know, people have said like, I made it, I've done it, I made it in America. What do you think it's like, have made it?
I have my kids.
That's your like made it? Have your kids have kids? Is that you made it?
No, of course not. No, I can't say I made it yet. I still have a long journey to be able to say I made it.
So then, what are your hopes for the future?
Um, for me, feel like I still have a lot to learn. I'm still gonna go back to school soon. I need to study more, educate myself more to be able to help others and say I made it.
So, how many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids, 4 beautiful kids.
What kind of messages do you want to pass to your children on about work?
Respect your work, respect your coworker, work as hard as you can, and always try to learn from your mistakes.
What about money?
Um, don't put money as your first goal in life because you are making money. Money does not make you.
That's a good one. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. What kinds of messages do you want to send to your children about school and about college?
Education, it's come first. It always education come first because that's your key to better life.
So, but do you worry about your kids' financial futures?
No,
Why?
because from what I see them now, I'm sure they will have a nice future because they're going to school, they're studying hard, and I'm sure they will have a very bright future because they're gonna find a good job, and I know they can do it, they can make it.
So, do you imagine, because your class position has shifted so much, do you imagine that your kids' class position will shift as much?
Maybe,
You just never know.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up with some questions. Is there anything else you wished I'd asked you, or you wish you would like to talk about?
We forgot to mention one of the jobs I did.
Which one?
Actually, I work as a caregiver.
Oh, really?
Yes. I work with many elderly people, and that job, I got to see people. They teach me a very valuable lesson. Each one of them, they teach me very valuable lessons.
So, would you rank that differently now that you remember the caregiver job?
Because it popped into my mind one of those professors. I used to take care of his wife. She had a stroke.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And one day, me and him and his wife, she doesn't talk a lot, but she will get like engaged with us.
Yeah.
So he was talking to me and he was asking me about like my kids. How many kids do you have? What they do? And he's like, and I told him like, okay, I have 4 kids. They're still young. They go to school. And one day he asked me to get him a picture of you. I got a picture for 4 of you.
Oh, is that the day you asked us to send pictures of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he put it on the top of his fireplace. And every day I go, it's like he's pointing to your picture and he's like, those are your future.
Oh my goodness. That make me cry.
And he always telling me, and your future in their education. They have to get a good education. So from that time, like, I really appreciate his lesson. I don't know where he is now, and I hope he's in good health, good shape, and if he passed away, which I don't know, and I hope he rests in peace. But I will never forget him. I will never forget, honestly. I will never forget him and his lesson about my kids. And every day I come, he point to my kids, even